Dear children, so welcome to the second session. Let me continue the discussion. The question is give two reasons to justify. The first reason is water at room temperature is a liquid. So actually the water is transition at what temperature? That is solid to liquid and liquid to gases. At what temperature the transition will be taking place? Yes, at 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. At 0 degrees Celsius, the water, it will change to solid to liquid state. There is a transition. And at 100 degrees Celsius, there is a transition from the liquid state to gaseous state. So water at room temperature is a liquid. So at room temperature, what is the room temperature? The room temperature, it will be 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. At 25 to 27 degrees Celsius, the water, it will be at liquid state only. Let me see the answer. So transition in the states of matter of water occurs at 0 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. So it is a transition states of water 0 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius. At 0 degrees Celsius, it is a melting point of water or freezing point of water. At 100 degrees Celsius, it is a boiling point of water. At room temperature means what is the room temperature? Yes, 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. At room temperature, water is in the liquid state only. So thereby exhibiting all the properties of a liquid such as, so water flows at this temperature. At 25 to 27 degrees Celsius, the water will flow because the water is in the liquid state. The fluidity will be there. The water flow at this temperature. And it has the fixed volume. So in liquid state, it has the fixed volume. And it takes the shape of its container. So when we transfer the water to the container, but the container will having the shape. So this is the answer. And next is an iron aluminium is a solid at room temperature. So iron is solid at room temperature. What is the reason? Because the iron has the high melting and boiling point. The melting point and boiling point of iron are high. The melting point of iron is 1538 degrees Celsius and boiling point of iron is 2862 degrees Celsius. So the room temperature is 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Hence iron aluminium is a solid at room temperature because its melting and boiling point is high, very high. So melting point will be 1538 degrees Celsius and boiling point it will be 2862 degrees Celsius. So the melting point and boiling point is high. So that's why the iron aluminium is solid at room temperature. And next question is, why is ice at 573 Kelvin more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature? So why ice is at 273 Kelvin more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature? What is the reason? Because 273 Kelvin. That means when we convert them into Celsius, it will be 0 degrees Celsius. At 0 degrees Celsius, the ice, it's a boiling point or melting point, children, of water. What it will be? Yes, the melting or freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. At that stage, the ice, it will be in solid and liquid state. So both states are there. So that is the reason water at a temperature that is 273 Kelvin is less effective than ice, because ice can readily form water. So ice, when we increase the temperature, the ice can readily form water through absorption of ambient heat energy, through the heat energy, as opposed to water, which does not exhibit this property, as it already possesses additional latent heat of fusion, so does not require extra heat. So when the ice is more effective, the ice is more effective in cooling than water. The reason is the ice, which is readily form water, it absorbs the ambient heat of energy. It does not require extra heat, because it's already having the additional latent heat of fusion is there. So what is the latent heat of fusion? The latent heat of fusion is the conversion of solid to liquid at its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion. So in that, there is no extra heat will be required. So this is the answer for this question. And next, hence ice cools rapidly compared to water at the same temperature. Next question is, what produces more severe burns, boiling water or steam? So the answer for the question is steam produces severe burns. It is because it is an exothermic reaction. So actually there are two reactions are there. One is exothermic reaction and another one is endothermic reaction. So the example for exothermic reaction, you just take the calcium oxide. In the calcium oxide, when we add water on the calcium oxide, and after that you just touch the vessel of that calcium oxide where you kept. So in that, the heat will be liberated. The heat is produced. The heat is evolved. That is known as exothermic reaction. Or when we take acid. So in that acid, when we add water in that acid, so at that time when you touch the beaker, you can feel the heat. That is known as exothermic reaction. So the exothermic reaction means the heat is evolved or heat is liberated or heat is generated. That is known as exothermic reaction. And endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction. For that, you just take the soap powder, that is Rin powder or Surf Excel powder, anything, any soap powder. So in that soap powder, you have to add some water, and you now just keep your hand in the outside of that vessel. You can feel the cooling of that water. The water, it will be cooling stage. You can feel that coolness, chillness will be there. So here the heat is absorbed. Here what type of reaction it is? Endothermic reaction. So endothermic reaction means the heat is absorbed. Exothermic reaction means heat is evolved, liberated, released, produced. That is known as exothermic reaction. So here you can see steam produces severe burns because it is exothermic reaction. So exothermic reaction means the amount of heat is released. Heat energy is released. Heat energy is evolved. Heat energy is generated. Heat energy is produced. That is known as exothermic reaction. So here also same. It is an exothermic reaction that releases a high amount of heat which it has consumed during vaporization. So here what type of reaction it will be? Exothermic reaction. And next question. So name A, B, C, D and E of the following diagram showing a change in its state. First we will see the diagram. So in the diagram you can see the solid is converted to liquid. In which process the solid is converted to liquid? So what is the process? Yes, the process is melting. You just take the ice cube. So what state it will be? Solid state. So when we increase the temperature, it will be converted to liquid state. So that process we can tell it as melting or fusion, or we can tell it as liquefation. And next we have to identify the B, that is liquid to gas. So what is the process? When we increase the temperature, what will happen? The liquid is converted to gases. What is the process? Yes, it is evaporation or vaporization. Evaporation or vaporization. And next, gas to liquid. So gas to liquid is condensation. Gas to liquid is condensation. And liquid to solid. So liquid to solid is solidification. So liquid to solid is solidification. And solid to gases. Solid to gases. So in that we have to increase the heat and decrease the pressure. What is the process? Yes, it is sublimation process.